A very good evening to all of you. Namaskar. Thank you for joining this week's media briefing. As always, we have a lot of interesting questions, I understand, and I would now hand over to Yatin to take us through.
Anish from Asianet has asked, has India urged the European Union nations to consider Indian vaccines for travel to Europe? What is the update on it? Pankaj from Hindustan is asking, कोविशील्ड को कई यूरोपियन देश अलग से मान्यता दे रहे हैं. कोवैक्स को लेकर क्या प्रयास हो रहे हैं और क्या कोवैक्स को किसी भी देश ने मान्यता दी है? Nainima from the print is asking, how many European countries in total have accepted India's vaccines? Has the matter been taken at the highest level? Huma from Financial Express is asking, how many countries in Latin America and Caribbean recognize the Indian vaccines? Is there a list of such countries? And Praveen Gautam from Newspoint is asking, जिन लोगों को भारत में कोवैक्सीन कोविशील्ड की डोज लगी है, क्या उन्हें विदेशों में फिर से कोई दूसरी वैक्सीन लगवानी पड़ेगी? I have similar questions from Pushkar from New Indian Express, Gautam Lahiri, Siddhant from Vion, Madhurendra from News Nations, and Narendra Nath from NBT.
Yeah, I see a lot of interest in the issue of vaccines, naturally. Look, we understand that the European Union has now instituted what is called a EU digital COVID certificate for exempting restrictions on the movement of vaccinated people. Our expectation is that Indians who have been vaccinated through our domestic vaccination program would be treated at par with those vaccinated in the EU, and the COVID vaccination certificate would be recognized by the EU on a reciprocal basis. As you are aware, such COVID vaccination certificates can be authenticated on the COVID website itself. We are in touch with EU member states in this regard for reciprocal acceptance. I understand that a number of EU countries have already taken steps, positive steps in this direction. There was a query regarding Latin America and the Caribbean. I'm not sure what was meant by the word recognize. As you're aware, a large number of countries in that region are already using Made in India vaccines, and that list of countries is available in the public domain. Regarding the issue of vaccination norms and revaccination by other countries across the world, I'm afraid this would depend on the country concerned, so I would not be able to add to this right now. Yatin.
Nainima from the print is asking, what is the status of the arrival of COVID vaccines that were being promised by USA? Munish Gupta from PIO TV is asking, India is the biggest vaccine manufacturer, with several vaccines cleared for emergency use, import and production being ramped up for Indian vaccine manufacturing. When will India again start supporting other needy nations with vaccine doses needed by them? India was first praised for vaccine diplomacy, then blamed for giving away vaccine. Has that affected policy? Gautam Lahiri is asking, as Finance Minister announced incentive for tourism sector, when reopening of tourist visa is expected, do we have any update on resumption of air bubble? Maha from CNN News 18 is asking, what is the progress on Covaxin's approval by WHO? And I have a similar question from Madhurendra from News Nation.
Okay, on the issue of vaccines, as I have said earlier, government is making all efforts to augment vaccine availability in the country, be it through domestic production or imports. As regards the specific vaccines and the status of their imports into India, this is a matter for the concerned regulatory authorities. Moving on to the issue of supply of vaccines abroad, let me reiterate that currently our priority remains on purposing domestic production to our domestic vaccination program, which, as you know, is progressing rapidly. And as regards the issue of travel into India, these are being dealt by the Health Ministry and the Ministry of Home Affairs. We will certainly share with you if there are any updates in this regard. Yatin.
Sandeep from Tribune is asking, will India raise the suspected drone attack at Jammu with Pakistan, considering that security agencies suspect the hand of Lashkar-e-Toiba? Madhurendra from News Nation is asking, सीमा पार से जम्मू में हुए आतंकी ड्रोन अटैक को पाकिस्तान ने बुरी तरह से खारिज किया है, भारत का क्या जवाब है? Aditya from CNN News 18 is asking, Pakistan has yet again been denied any relief from FATF. How does India see Pakistan's inability to convince FATF on acting against terror financing on its soil? Sanjay from Arab News is asking, Imran Khan in Pakistan's National Assembly said that Islamabad would not restore ties with India until New Delhi reverses its decision on Kashmir. Any comment to that? Praveen Gautam from News Point, Deepak Ranjan from PTI Bhasha are asking similar questions.
Thank you. Look, regarding the Jammu Air Force Station case, the investigation is in progress. As far as terrorism and terror financing is concerned, we have a zero tolerance policy. We condemn terrorism in all its forms and manifestations. All countries must take credible action against terrorism, including by putting an end to cross-border movement of terrorists, ending terrorist safe havens and infrastructure, and their financing channels. In this regard, we call upon Pakistan to take credible, verifiable, and irreversible action against terrorist networks and proxies operating from territories under its control, and to bring the perpetrators of terrorist attacks, including the 26 November Mumbai attack and the Pathankot attack, to justice.
Nainima from The Print is asking, when was the drone spotted inside Indian High Commission in Islamabad, and if there were more such incidents? Uma Shankar from NDTV has asked, क्या ये सही है कि पिछले शनिवार को भारतीय उच्चायोग इस्लामाबाद के रेसिडेंशियल ब्लॉक में एक पार्टी का आयोजन किया गया था और उसके दौरान करीब 10 बजे एक ड्रोन ऊपर देखा गया? जो भारत की तरफ से पाकिस्तान को जो आपत्ति दर्ज कराई गई है वो किसी और तारीख और समय पर देखे गए ड्रोन के बारे में है? Aditya from CNN News 18 is asking, was there a drone spotted twice inside Indian High Commission in June 26th night? Is India investigating this incident in relation to Jammu Air Force Base drone attack which happened just hours later? Sachin from Univarta is asking, बीते शनिवार 26 जून को इस्लामाबाद में भारतीय उच्चायोग में भी ड्रोन की घुसपैठ होने की रिपोर्ट आई है। भारत सरकार ने इस घटना पर क्या कदम उठाए हैं? We have similar question from Anish from Asianet, Vijay Lakshmi from India TV, Deepak Ranjan from PTI Bhasha, Siddhant from Vion, Madhurendra from News Nation, Manush from PTI, Shrinjoy from Times Now, and Maha from CNN News 18.
A drone was spotted over the premises of the Indian High Commission in Islamabad on 26th June this year. This has been taken up officially with the government of Pakistan. We expect Pakistan to investigate the incident and prevent recurrence of such breach of security. Yatin.
Sanjay from Arab News is asking, last week Afghan journalist Sami Yusufzai tweeted that Indian External Affairs Minister had met with Taliban leaders. How true is the fact that Mr. Jaishankar met the Taliban leaders during his transit halt in Doha recently? India always claims that it is in touch with all stakeholders in Afghanistan. What New Delhi expects from Taliban, which is one of the main stakeholders in Afghanistan? Siddhant from Vion is asking, we have issued new security advisory for our nationals in Afghanistan. Any key reason for that? Ranjit Kumar from Rakshat News is asking, in view of reports of Taliban's expanding control over Afghan cities, how India views current security situation in Afghanistan? Narendranath from New Bharat Times is asking, तालिबान से भारत का संपर्क किस स्तर पर हो रहा है? हालांकि विदेश मंत्री की किसी मीटिंग का खंडन किया गया, लेकिन क्या आधिकारिक स्तर पर किस तरह की बातचीत हुई है? We have similar question from Aditya from CNN News 18 and Deepak Ranjan from PTI Bhasha.
We have seen some media reports based on a tweet by some journalists about meeting with the Taliban by EM. Since this issue has been raised, let me categorically deny claims that External Affairs Minister met any Taliban leader. Such stories are false and mischievous. You would have seen the detailed statement made by External Affairs Minister on June 22nd at the UN Security Council, where he spoke extensively on these issues, including India's support for a durable peace driven by an inclusive Afghan-led, Afghan-owned and Afghan-controlled peace process. We support all peace initiatives and have been engaged with various stakeholders. As regards the security situation in Afghanistan, we are obviously concerned by the increased violence there, based on which we have issued a security advisory for Indian nationals in Afghanistan.
Manas from PTI is asking, has the Maldivian government responded to India seeking action by the Maldivian government against social media posts and articles in the local media targeting Indian diplomats in Malé?
Look, I think I understand that the Maldives Foreign Ministry today issued a statement on this matter. The Maldivian Democratic Party has also issued a statement, I think. I think that answers the question.
Deepak Ranjan from PTI Bhasha has asked, ऐसी खबरें आई है कि डोमिनिका के प्रधानमंत्री ने भगोड़े हीरा कारोबारी मेहुल चौकसी के कथित अपहरण में उनकी सरकार के शामिल होने के दावे को गलत बताया है। इस पर मंत्रालय की क्या प्रतिक्रिया है और ताज़ा स्थिति क्या है? Srinjoy from Times Now is asking, do we have an update on Choksi and Nirav Modi?
I actually don't have an immediate update on either of those cases. We are of course closely monitoring the ongoing legal proceedings in both cases. If we have any update, we will certainly come back to you. Yatin.
Basant from Matrubhumi is asking, has the MEA official handed over the request of customs to question former Consul General and Attaché of Consulate in Trivandrum to UAE in the gold smuggling case? If yes, what is the response of UAE?
Look, this is a matter that has been handled by the customs authorities, and I would refer you to them for details on this issue.
Huma from Financial Express has asked, Secretary Economic Relations is in Ghana for FOC. What was the focus of this consultation?
Yes, Secretary Economic Relations in the Ministry of External Affairs is currently on a tour of a few countries in Africa, including Ghana, where he is chairing the Indian side of the Foreign Office consultations. We will continue to share information as the visit progresses.
Gautam Lahiri is asking, as EM raised the issue of TRIPS regulations for medicines, how hopeful we are of resolutions of the restrictions?
Look, we are continuing to pursue our proposal for COVID-related TRIPS waiver, and we are happy at the large support for text-based negotiations. However, I would refer you to the Ministry of Commerce for the latest updates on this issue.
Anish from Asianet has asked, when would be the next round of Corps Commander level meeting? Deepak Ranjan from PTI Bhasha is asking, WMCC स्तर की ताज़ा बैठक के बाद पूर्वी लद्दाख में चीन के साथ जारी गतिरोध की वर्तमान स्थिति क्या है? Srinjoy from Times Now has asked, when is the Commander Conference likely to happen? I have similar question from Shashidhar Pathak from Amar Ujala.
As you are aware, the 22nd meeting of the Working Mechanism for Consultation and Coordination on India-China Border Affairs, or the WMCC, was held on 25th of June. Both sides agreed to maintain dialogue and communication through the diplomatic and military mechanisms to reach a mutually acceptable solution for complete disengagement from all friction points, so as to enable full restoration of peace and tranquility and enable progress in the bilateral relations. They also agreed that in the interim, the two sides will continue to ensure stability on the ground and prevent any untoward incident. The two sides also agreed to hold the next, that is the 12th round of senior commanders meeting at an early date. I don't have any update on the date for this meeting, which is yet to be fixed. We will share with you as and when we have it.
Agni Roy from Anand Bazar Patrika is asking, does India send any greetings or special messages to Xi Jinping government for the centenary of CPC?
Look, I don't think this is a government matter that I would need to answer. Thank you.
We don't have any further question.
Thank you, Yatin, and thank you to all our viewers for joining in for this edition of our weekly media briefing. Good evening.